5 on your side at 10 starts now.
The Thanksgiving Day forecast looks great, but this weekend, not so much. We could have a winter storm in the region. I got your full forecast and what to expect coming up.
A battle of the badges wrapping up minutes ago. The personal fight for one first responder who stepped into the ring for tonight's Guns and Hoses. Giving thanks in the wake of devastation.
Whenever the city is in crisis and in need, the one thing they do is step up to ensure that they can help out.
The volunteers stepping up to the holiday plate in North St. Louis.
5 on your side starts now with a weather impact alert.
48 hours away from our first blast of winter weather of the season, and it will likely impact your holiday weekend plans and a record number of Thanksgiving travelers heading home. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. This is an ever-changing forecast. Weather impact meteorologist Lance Blocker is tracking the latest timing and the tracking of the snow as well. Lance.
Yeah, Mike, Kelly, we've been keeping a close watch on this. Up to about a week now, really, the forecast models have done a really good job of tracking this system across the country into our region. We're getting a little bit more specific details on what we expect for us. Friday night and through Saturday, that's when we expect to see snow, really a mixture of rain, sleet, and snow move in from the west, then turn into all snow, then back to rain, and then potentially back to snow. It's a complicated forecast. Just know this, that you could expect to see travel delays across the region, whether it's on the road or heading out of town from the airport as well, mainly on Saturday, potential into Sunday as well. And of course, stay up to date. We'll keep you updated as well as we get closer to that. Again, radar checks out all clear. That's what we expected. This is the storm system that's going to bring the snow mix back to our region again on Saturday, so it's a long way off, but it will arrive here as we reach this weekend. In the meantime, though, tomorrow really looks great. It will be breezy at times, wind gusts upwards of 15 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, chilly once again, though, highs in the upper 30s. And then, of course, all attention goes into Saturday when that snow is expected to arrive. I got some snowfall totals on what we expect out of this system. A first look at it, that's all coming up here in about 10 minutes.
And ahead of the snow, the city of St. Louis has activated its first code blue as part of its new winter weather response.
Street crews will begin pre-treating the roads on Friday morning. The city has added 150 emergency beds at 2 walk-up shelters, the Peter and Paul Jugan Shelter and the Biddle Housing Opportunities Center. Beds are available from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. through Saturday.
The Weather Impact team will be here all throughout the weekend to keep you ahead of the wintry weather and the impacts on your holiday travel. Look for updates on the 5+ streaming app. Download and watch for free on your smart TV. And you can also text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send the latest forecast straight to your phone.
Now to a live look at Enterprise Center, where a Thanksgiving Eve tradition in St. Louis wrapped up within the last hour. It was a packed house for Guns and Hoses. That's the largest fundraiser of the year to support Backstoppers. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski takes us ringside for the boxing matches supporting our first responders.
It wouldn't be the night before Thanksgiving without Guns and Hoses, where area police officers and firefighters jump in the ring, sparring each other for the organization that supports them, Backstoppers.
I think it's so important for these families to see exactly what we do, and 100% of our proceeds go right back to the Backstoppers. And you know, it's a shame that we say this, but this is the best insurance policy you hope you never have to use.
St. Louis police officer Thomas Bosch is hitting the mat for the 3rd year in a row.
My dad was a Clayton police officer. Growing up, we came here as a family. All the men of my family came every year and watched fights and helped raise money for Backstoppers. He passed away 4 days before my first fight 2 years ago, so now it's kind of just part of me.
Bosch says he's seen how Backstoppers has truly helped the department's families.
My old squad mate, Nathan Spees, had a catastrophic injury this past year, and Backstoppers was there.
The 38th annual Guns and Hoses, they honored 5 first responders who lost their lives in the line of duty this year. Now Backstoppers is taking care of each one of their families.
The portraits of just them. When I see those portraits, I see families. And in particular tonight, those portraits are going to represent 2 widows and 4 children. So that's what this is about, and it means quite a bit.
Bosch won his fight for his dad, but also for all of the fallen.
I feel blessed and privileged to be able to do the job that I do and have the impacts that I have. And it's the job itself gives back, and this is just a way to help give back more.
Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
For each of the last 4 years, Guns N' Hoses has donated $1 million to Backstoppers. We'll find out in February the final total from tonight's big event. The organization currently supports 100 families, including a 100-year-old woman who lost her husband in the line of duty in 1960.
Right now, St. Louis County Police are investigating a homicide outside a North County church. This deadly shooting happened around 5 tonight near the intersection of Cloverdale and Chambers Road. We have very few details right now. We did talk with police about 30 minutes ago. They tell us they're still gathering details, and they will release more information later tonight. We will get that information to you. Tonight, a University City man is behind bars accused of beating another man to death with a bed frame rail. 60-year-old Mikhail Zuckerman is charged with second-degree murder and armed criminal action. The crime happened Monday at an apartment building on Delcrest Court. Police say they found Zuckerman with bloodied hands, and he admitted to the crime.
Developing tonight in Washington, D.C., 2 National Guard members from West Virginia are in critical condition after what officials are calling a brazen targeted attack. They were shot at close range just blocks from the White House. Tonight, a 29-year-old man from Washington State is in custody. The FBI is investigating a motive.
I think the biggest question right now is to understand a more kind of rich picture, understanding who this person is and what their potential connections might be.
Following the shooting, President Trump filed an emergency order to keep the National Guard in D.C. and send 500 additional troops. Last week, a federal judge ruled the deployment was illegal.
Tonight, a stretch of Manchester Road is back open in De Pere, but traffic is still a slow go. A 3-car crash near Barrett Station Road this morning caused a power pole to snap, sending live power lines onto the cars and the road. One driver is recovering in the hospital tonight. Power has been restored in the area, but the traffic lights are still flashing, causing delays.
Tonight, bars across the bi-state are packed for one of the busiest nights of the year, and that has police on high alert. The night before Thanksgiving is commonly referred to as Drinksgiving or Blackout Wednesday. It's considered one of the heaviest drinking nights of the year in the United States, making impaired driving a major concern.
The reminder for everyone is you've got to plan ahead for these types of events. If people wait too long to make the decision and try to exercise good judgment, you can't do that if you're already under the influence.
People are urged to arrange for a designated driver. Some groups are offering free rides through ride shares.
Well, several groups spent the last several hours on this Thanksgiving Eve preparing free meals for families impacted by the May 16th tornado and many others.
5 on your side's Robert Townsend caught up with some Good Samaritans who are putting the spirit of the holiday into action.
And that's a juicy turkey breast.
It's Thanksgiving Eve, and Joe Westbrook and his team from Pure Catering Company in St. Louis are on a holiday mission.
One thing it represents is community first.
Westbrook and his employees are busy preparing lots of roasted turkeys and all the trimmings for the first ever Jason Tatum Foundation Thanksgiving dinner.
Anytime there is an issue or a crisis, the Jason and the Tatum Foundation always have boots on the ground. And I have to definitely say that when it comes to giving back to the community, that's the first thing he does.
On Thanksgiving Day, the well-known 2024 NBA champion, Boston Celtics player, and Chaminade High School Grads Foundation will host 2 Thanksgiving dinners at the Third Degree Glass Factory in St. Louis. They will serve free holiday meals to families impacted by the May 16th tornado, people who are unhoused, and to anyone who's currently facing financial hardships.
This holiday season, everyone has been struggling in their own particular way, and what we are wanting to do is just make sure that we can ease that burden a little bit. Apple pie and sweet potato pies, and these are all homemade.
Pure Catering's Kavion Hill spent hours baking dozens of desserts for the big event.
We're willing to sacrifice having a hot meal of our own at home to help people who don't have a hot meal.
Organizers tell me this Thanksgiving is not only a tough time for those receiving free meals, but those who traditionally donate are also experiencing hardships compared to a year ago.
I personally have reached out to chefs, catering companies, restaurants and stuff to take money out of my own pocket to say, hey, we need to feed these families.
The folks at House of Soul Entertainment venue downtown will also be feeding families on Thanksgiving, serving their community one slice at a time.
It's about giving back.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
The Thanksgiving dinners will be at the Third Degree Glass Factory from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. and from 1:45 until 3:30. Cars lined up today in Jefferson County for free turkeys and Thanksgiving staples. The executive director at the Gateway Food Pantry says he has never seen the need this high in the pantry's 42-year history. People seeking help there is up 33%. Tornado victims striking Boeing workers and SNAP recipients added to demand.
If you need a last-minute item from the store for tomorrow's meal, your options are limited. Most of your major grocery stores like Schnucks and Deerbergs, Aldi and Walmart, they're all closed tomorrow. You might have some luck at Walgreens, CVS, Dollar General, Fresh Time, or Save-A-Lot. For a full list of what stores are open tomorrow and the hours, just text the word OPEN to 314-425-5355 and we'll send a link to your phone.
Avoiding guilt from your Thanksgiving glut.
Make sure that you put your fork down between bites.
The activity you should avoid after the big meal. Plus, we verified the foods that will ruffle the feathers of your furry dinner guests.
A weather impact alert has been issued for Saturday and now through Sunday, as well as a winter storm impacts the region on the busiest travel day weekend ahead. I got the details on what to expect coming up.
Well, tomorrow many will indulge themselves on turkey, sides, and desserts. According to the Calorie Control Council, many Americans eat around 3,100 calories at their Thanksgiving feast. Now, if you feel guilty after cleaning your plate, doctors suggest you take a light walk. They also say do not hit the gym right after your big meal.
Your digestive system is taking a lot of the blood flow to help with digesting the food. So if you divert that blood flow to muscles to do a big activity like a run or a strenuous exercise after eating, then you won't digest your food as well and may cause more digestive problems.
To avoid overeating, it's suggested you chew slowly and put your fork down during bites. Also, stay hydrated. Also, don't skip breakfast to save calories. That will only cause you to overeat. Instead, it's suggested you have a light meal before your big turkey dinner.
Pet owners need to be careful on Thanksgiving. Tonight, our Verify team looks into what foods on your plate should not go into your pet's bowl. Here's Megan Bragg.
It's really hard to say no to this face, but before you hand over some turkey to your pup this Thanksgiving, there are some things you should know. Our sources for these questions are Megan Doherty with the Charlotte Humane Society, Pet Poison Helpline, Purina, and the American Veterinarian Medical Association. The first question, can your dog eat turkey? According to AVMA, eating turkey or turkey skin can cause pancreatitis in pets, which can be a life-threatening condition. Doherty agrees and says try to avoid giving your dog any food from your Thanksgiving spread.
Don't recommend that your dog eat anything off of your Thanksgiving table. A lot of those foods have really high fat content and it could cause an upset tummy.
So we can verify that no, you should not feed your dog Thanksgiving turkey. The next question, can you give your dog dessert? According to AVMA, artificial sugars can be deadly if consumed by dogs or cats. Doherty says dogs also shouldn't have real sugar either.
Definitely do not recommend giving your dog any type of dessert, really. Anytime you want to introduce any new food to your dog, we really recommend talking to your vet about it first because every pet is different.
So we can verify that no, you shouldn't give your dog dessert. And finally, can your dog help you finish all those leftover sides? It all depends on the side. The Pet Poison Helpline lists green beans, sweet potatoes, and carrots as pet-safe foods. Purina adds cranberries, pumpkin, and mashed potatoes. It's important to stress these foods must be free of oil, butter, fats, sugar, spices, seasoning, and salt. The AVMA also recommends keeping your trash secured. Turkey carcasses, bones, and food scraps should go into a tightly sealed bag and be kept out of reach. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
And we're helping you cook up a great Thanksgiving dinner on our 5+ streaming app. Our special features holiday-style recipes and dinners under $50. You can watch for free anytime on your smart TV. Just search for KSDK in your app store to download 5+. Well, tonight, EarthCam shows a busy Herald Square in New York City just hours from now. 34th Street will be packed with marching bands, performers, floats, and giant balloons for the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Earlier tonight, spectators lined up on the Upper West Side to see crews inflate the 65 balloons. Some are as tall as 5 stories. The forecast for Manhattan tomorrow calls for gusty winds, which could make it difficult for those balloon handlers. You can watch the parade tomorrow morning right here on 5 on your side. Coverage begins at 8:30 a.m. Our replay will air at 2 p.m. And make sure you keep an eye out for Lindbergh High School students Sarah Bailey and Rebecca Thomas. They're performing with the Macy's Great American Marching Band Color Guard.
Just 5 hours ago, they flipped the switch on a St. Louis holiday tradition.
3, 2, 1. Ah! Woo!
You
Oh,
saw
how
it
beautiful.
right here on 5 on your side, and Allred was there as they turned on the holiday lights for Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. More than 1 million colorful LED lights are hung from the trees and light up displays. Winter Wonderland is open nightly through January 3rd from 5 until 9, including Thanksgiving tomorrow. It's $20 per car, cash only at the gate. You can also purchase tickets online. Tillis Park is located in Ladue at the corner of McKnight and Litzinger Roads. And we've compiled a list of all the dazzling displays around the bi-state. Text the word lights to 314-425-5355. We'll send it to your phone.
All right, meteorologist Lance Blocker rejoins us now with a weather impact forecast and the big impact coming on Saturday when snow is expected, Lance.
Yeah, it could really hamper travel conditions all across the region. Of course, everything is nice and quiet right now. Your Thanksgiving Day forecast also looking good. You see temperatures in the low 40s, so chilly, but it will be windy on Thanksgiving, though. Wind gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour. Then temperatures dive as we get closer to this weekend. That in advance of our winter storm expected here on Saturday. Let's jump right into the numbers here. I'll show you. This is the latest data. Just came in maybe about an hour or so ago, but you can see again Friday is going to be quiet. We don't expect any issues for us here across our area until Friday night. We'll put this in motion now. Temperatures are in the mid 30s across the area as that precipitation moves in from the west, and that's going to actually help cool us off. So we'll start out in the mid 30s, but that snow falling through the air, it's actually going to evaporate. That's going to help bring us back down closer to 32 degrees freezing, or even below that in a few locations with widespread snow. This is 7:45 in the morning. This is the difference. In the last few forecast models, it had a higher area of liquid and mixed precipitation, now showing more snow across the area. So we'll keep a close watch on that. This is highly subject to change, then a changeover to liquid precipitation. We think mostly snow up to the north, basically north of I-70 in Missouri, I-64 on the Illinois side. It's still to be determined in this middle corridor here, and then snow quickly transitioning over to rain. I did leave this down here up to 2 inches just in case we get colder air in advance of that precipitation to have a little bit more snow. And I left it green too because water is going to fall on that snow and it's going to look like we didn't get that much. But closer to town here, about 1 to 3 inches, 2 to 4 inches. And I'll say this, some of the forecast models show greater amounts. We're still fine tuning this. We will keep you updated not only here, but also on the 5+ app. I'm going to start streaming on the 5+ app Friday night, overnight through the duration of this event. Giving you updates every hour as the snow begins to fall west to east across the area. We also included a weather impact alert day for Sunday. That's because travel conditions could still be rough depending on how much snow we get and that refreeze potential. So again, we'll keep you updated, but Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, grab all the food you can get. It's going to be a great day.
Sounds great. Thank you, Lance. Here's Corey with sports.
Well, the Blues got another chance to change their overtime luck. There's a significant development in the Eli Drinkwitz contract saga, and I'll tell you about a high school football team making history in Jefferson County. Sports is up after the break. The Blues have been out of town for a week. They ended their 5-game road trip tonight in New Jersey before coming home for Thanksgiving. The overtime struggles have been well documented for the Note. They already lost 2 games on this road trip in OT and got another chance in the extra frame tonight against the Devils. No David Putty sightings in the stands. Perhaps he was just finishing up his face paint. The Blues announced their presence early. Just over 2 minutes in, Cam Fowler nets his first of the year. 1-0 Blues. Devils tied it. Blues answered in the first period. Robert Thomas, absolute snipe. Blues lead 2-1. We're going to look at this again. He rattles this puck all around the cage and in. It's like a hockey trick shot. Second period. Jersey tied it again. Timo Meier on the doorstep. 2-2. Surprise, surprise, this went to overtime, and surprise, surprise, it was a familiar ending. Simon Nemec converts. The Blues lose 3-2, move to 0-7 in overtime this year, and waste a nice performance from Jordan Binnington in net.
Yeah, he was excellent in the first period. I mean, maybe 3 half breakaways and then, a couple of one-timers that he just read really well and a couple of shots through screens. He was excellent. He deserved a better fate than, the 2 goals only that we got him.
We have an update on the Eli Drinkwitz contract talks at Mizzou. Sources have told 5 on Your Side sports director Frank Cusimano that in today's meeting of the Board of Curators, the board approved a proposed 6-year extension for Drinkwitz. It would come with a raise for him and his staff, which would make it a top 4 highest paid staff in the SEC. It's not signed yet, but that could come very soon. Stay tuned. It's not just football on the menu for your Thanksgiving sports consumption tomorrow. SLU basketball is in action out in California. They'll open up play in the Acrisure Invitational against an undefeated Santa Clara squad. This could be SLU's first real test of the year. They've been winning games by an average of 27 points so far. But Coach Josh Schertz has found ways to add in some adversity along the way.
You try to create adversity in practice, certainly, in terms of drills you do, toughness, the standard you practice at, helping guys to course correct. We're a big believer in, you build your muscles in practice and flex your muscles in competition. You can't flex what you don't have.
High school football is alive and well in Festus. The town can boast 2 teams still alive in the playoffs. We'll highlight the Festus Tigers tomorrow night. Tonight, St. Pius in Class 2 gets the spotlight. The Lancers are quite literally in uncharted waters. They have never made it this far before. Now, they're just a game away from playing for the state title. It was a season that started 0-3, but is ending in spectacular fashion. And with over 1,000 fans at last game, everybody's loving the Lancers.
It's fun. I love the atmosphere of going deep in the playoffs. It's a lot of fun. It's just, craziness every week.
Since the state went to the new district format, they've never even been in the district championship game. The last few weeks have been uncharted territory for us.
First of all, winning districts, and then everybody thinks we're going to lose after that. We got lucky winning districts, and then we beat that team here at home, and now, out of luck, we have another home game for a Final Four game, which is really cool.
In under 80 days, the Kachuk boys and Team USA Hockey will take the ice at the Olympics in Italy. We got to look at the new uniforms they'll be rocking today, as shown off by the 2 St. Louis natives. USA Hockey has high hopes this Olympics and is looking for some 4 nations revenge against Canada. Here's a familiar face and new NBC Olympic hockey analyst on how the U.S. stacks up against their Canadian rivals.
They've had all the top players, it seems like, and now finally it seems like the U.S. is there. On paper, I think we're there, and I don't think you can deny the hunger. If anyone watched the 4 Nations, like this, these American kids they're ready to rock, and so it's going to be so good for USA Hockey and the country in general to have the hockey team right there and come in as what I think should be one of the favorites.
I think it makes everybody feel at least a little bit older now that TJ Oshie is retired and is a hockey analyst. Yeah. We'll never forget what he did in Sochi, though.
No. And the Blues, I don't know if you can help us solve this mystery, Corey, but they can't win in overtime, and really they just can't win.
If somebody has any answers, feel free to contact me and I'll pass it along, because I can't really explain it, Mike. It's just they just can't get it done, especially in overtime. Like you said, 0-7 in OT on the season now.
All right, Corey, thanks.
Well, every dog has its day, and one Missouri pup has another. The Rover Rescue caught on camera.
A Missouri dog owner is thankful tonight to some first responders for rescuing their beloved pet.
The dog named Popcorn chased after a raccoon and fell down a 15-foot deep hole. She was down there for nearly 7 hours before firefighters from the Doolittle Rural Fire Department got her out.
Aww.
Besides a couple of scrapes and war wounds from battling the raccoon, Popcorn is expected to be okay.
And Lance has one final check of our weather impact forecast, and of course everybody looking towards Saturday.
Yeah, the big red boxes here, of course, weather impact alert days for us both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, though, the system's out of here, but what's left over is likely to refreeze. Look at that, 21 degrees Sunday night into Monday. But of course, this system arrives late on Friday night, so Thanksgiving's great. Friday during the daytime hours, no issues there either. But we're going to continue to watch this very closely. Of course, we always encourage you to download the 5 Plus app for us here. That way, too, we're going to be on here streaming. We want to keep you advised of any potential hazardous weather with this as it moves through the area, including on the roadways there, too. So we'll be with you as this system really rolls through the area, giving you hourly updates. We'll keep an eye on it as well here during our regular newscast, too.
All right, Lance, thanks. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5 Plus.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 5 a.m. Have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.